Hulk Hogan's final farewell to his daughter Brooke was not just a goodbye, it was a profoundly intimate and soul-crushing moment that stripped away the layers of fame and left behind something far more human. It wasn't delivered under the bright lights of WrestleMania or the roar of a sold-out arena, but rather through a trembling FaceTime call in a quiet hospital room, a space now devoid of the chance and energy that once followed the legendary icon wherever he went. In his final hours, as his body surrendered to time and illness, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, no longer wore the red and yellow, no longer flexed or pointed to the crowd. He was just a father, frail and hooked up to machines, asking to see his daughter one last time. Brooke, thousands of miles away, received the call every child dreads. The doctor's message was direct and brutal: it's time. She knew, in her bones, that she wouldn't make it in time to physically be there. But even across a screen, she was present for the most sacred goodbye imaginable. When the video call connected and their eyes met, something timeless passed between them, decades of love, struggles, forgiveness, and unwavering bond, compressed into a few precious moments. Hogan's voice was barely audible, his lips cracked, and his body diminished, yet his words carried more strength than any promo he had ever cut. He told her she was his light, his reason to stay grounded amid fame's chaos. He reminded her of Disneyland trips, of shoulder rides that made her feel like she was flying, of how he was once her giant, and how she made him feel like one even when his body betrayed him. She tried to smile, to be strong for him, but her voice trembled, and the tears streamed freely. When he raised his trembling hand to the screen, giving her one final thumbs up, whispering, "What you gonna do when daddy's love runs wild in you?" It wasn't a catchphrase, it was a benediction, a final blessing from a father to his daughter. As the call ended and Brooke screamed in anguish, the machines beside Hogan slowed. His heartbeat faded into the stillness. Nurses moved quickly, but they knew it was over. Hulk Hogan, the immortal force of wrestling, had passed, not with the roar of a crowd, but in silence, in peace, with his daughter's voice as his final comfort. Word spread rapidly. Triple H arranged WWE's private jet for Brooke. Vince McMahon reportedly isolated himself in his office, unwilling to face the loss. Ric Flair, Hogan's longtime friend and rival, broke down on a live interview, unable to finish his sentence. Outside the hospital, fans gathered. Some held signs, others just stared silently, as though hoping the building might somehow return him to life. Brooke arrived hours later. She sat beside his bed, whispered to him, and thanked him for waiting. She placed a red and yellow bandana on his forehead, one last nod to the legend, then rested her head on his chest and wept. In that moment, she wasn't the daughter of a wrestling god, she was simply a daughter who had lost her hero. The world reacted with an outpouring of love and memories. John Cena posted a tribute that read only, "Thank you, brother." The Rock shared a video where he recalled Hogan mentoring him during his early days, encouraging him, seeing something in him when others didn't. Social media overflowed with videos of Hogan slamming giants, walking down arenas like a thunderstorm in boots, and fans shared photos of themselves as children wearing Hulkamania shirts, drawing strength from his larger-than-life image. But now, in this stillness, that image softened. WWE aired a special SmackDown tribute. The show opened not with pyrotechnics but with silence. A single feather boa draped across the ring. A 10-bell salute echoed like thunder. Then came a montage unlike any WWE had aired before, grainy home footage of Hogan twirling a young Brooke, teaching her to swim, cheering her on from the audience. The matches came next, but they weren't the focus. The voiceover came from Brooke, raw and unfiltered, recorded in the same room her father had passed away. She said he had given his body to wrestling, but his soul belonged to his family. Wrestlers and fans alike wept. Stephanie McMahon was seen crying, Triple H solemn and unmoving. Roman Reigns watched backstage, his expression hollow. The main event saw legends return, not to fight, but to honor. Cena, Orton, Rhodes, and The Undertaker stood together. The dead man, shedding his mystique, spoke as Mark Calloway, saying Hogan taught him that being larger than life starts with having the biggest heart. Then came the final voicemail, one never meant to be shared. Brooke allowed it. In it, Hogan reminded her of her strength, told her he'd never truly be gone. The arena broke into sobs. The image of the character melted away, and what remained was the man, Terry Bollea, a father, a friend, a human being. Backstage, wrestlers signed a tribute wall. Some wrote messages like, "My first hero, thanks for the inspiration," or simply, "Rest easy." One read, "Tell Macho Man we said hello." A private funeral followed in Clearwater, intimate and free of spectacle. Brooke spoke last. Her words were simple but devastating. She said she had shared her father with the world and, despite the struggles, he always made her feel more important than the fame.